Hi guys, welcome to Conversation Corner. Today I want to talk about living memorably versus creating memories. We love to take photos for events that are special to us. Our trips, the first time a child is born, maybe weddings. There can be multiple occasions where we want to take photos so that we don't forget how the moment felt like. But the problem with this is the moment a photo has been taken of a moment, that's no longer the moment. That's a representation of it. That's an image of it. And images really aren't reality. You cannot feed yourself today from the food you ate 100 days back. That's already digested and that's left your body. So similarly, if you think that life is about making memories, you're missing the point, because if you're making memories, you're refusing to live in the moment continuously. So let's say you went to a wedding, or let's say a child was born. The moment you take your camera out to click a snap of that, it's no longer part of the present moment. It gets captured for consumption in the future. Now, even if you look at that same photo much later into the future, you're going to reminisce about the time that the event occurred. You're going to remember how you felt when that event happened. And although it will make you feel very good in the moment, it'll also make you feel very depressed or very sad after that moment is over, because you realize now that the moment has passed. This what happens with parents a lot. They have these albums of their kids of when they're really small, and when a kid is really small, a kid is completely dependent on his or her parents for whatever the needs are. So to be able to be there for that child is immense joy for a parent, and parents often end up capturing these moments in photos, and then they conserve this. The problem with that is, once the child grows up, once the child hits 20 or 30 years of age, that child can no longer be seen through that lens. However, it's very hard for a parent to detach from that image of the child, of when the child was 2, 3, 4, 5 years old. And the moment they are unable to detach themselves from this, the moment they can't look at the photos without those emotions rushing in, is when they feel very sad as to how things are, because now that child is not as dependent on them as they used to be. Now that child doesn't come and tell them everything that they used to. So that feeling of being the whole world of a kid is now taken away. And the problem with looking at the photo when the situation no longer exists, the problem with looking at your kid's photo when your kid was 2, 3, 4, 5 years old is that your kid no longer is 2, 3, 4, 5 years old. They're probably now 20 years old, 30 years old, 40 years old, whatever the case may be. And the dynamic of the parent child relation has completely changed. So you always looking at that photo of when your kid was small is causing you to feel joyful initially, but then it causes you to feel sorrow, knowing that this is not the reality of things as they are. So, if we want to flip the dynamic, and if we want to prevent sorrow from our life, if we want to abandon sorrow from our lives, what we'd have to do is we'd have to live moments memorably in such a way that when these moments are over, we do not crave their experience once again. Because the moment we crave the experience of an event that has occurred, we are getting attached, and attachment, as we all know, is the cause of sorrow. So when a beautiful moment is lived, we should have enough grace to thank it for occurring or taking place in our life. We should bow our head towards it and allow it to depart as it came. Very often the best moments in our life come invited and they end uninvited. And grace is understanding that there are some things that can be enjoyed but not held on to.